With the 14th selection in this year's MLB Draft, the Cubs take. We're going to tell you right after this. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Let's talk some Cubs baseball. They take Cam Smith out of Florida State, and we're going to talk with our guy, former Cubs scouting director Tim Wilkin, later on this week here at the Cubs Baseball Channel with his thoughts on Cam Smith and Cubs' other selections and other players in the MLB Draft. But Cam Smith out of Florida State was a guy who made significant improvements at the plate. Big swing. He's a 21-year-old, big guy, 6'3", 220. It's like a Chris Bryant type playing over at third. Who knows if that's going to be his position forever, if they move him somewhere else. But kind of in that same mold as Matt Shaw, who was taken as a shortstop out of Maryland last year. This is a really good hitter. And the way that things work now in the minor leagues and development is that these guys are pushed right up. So this guy could potentially end up in Double-A by the time this season ends if he's able to go and compete at wherever they put him, which could be Myrtle Beach, which could be South Bend, because he'll start somewhere there most likely once he signs. But 387 batting average. You see his splits there. I like the power, 16 home runs, 57 runs batted in. Also the eye, 44 walks and only 48 strikeouts. He plays in the ACC. Florida State went to the College World Series. They were a really good team. He was the best player on a really good team. And this is a Florida State program that has put out great players for years and years and years. So it comes from one of the best programs that's out there. Now, you watch him, kind of has like that Dave Winfield type of swing. When you watch his highlights, it's a little bit long, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be able to hit. He barrels the ball up a lot, and when you go look at the analytics, the barrel rate for this guy shot up substantially over the last year, between his, season a year ago and the one that he had this year. And I think that's significant. I mean, you want a guy that's able to make contact, and, at this level you get with the wood bats, you also want to know what a guy looks like with wood. And this is a player that was in the Cape Cod League in 2023. Even had a big season there. So they saw that he could hit with a wood bat. He was one of the best players on his team. And when you talk about a guy, I said the barrel rate, Robert Frey, if you look at his stuff, or Robert Fry, however he pronounces it, has his barrel rate up over 12% from last year to this year, and the chase percent way down. So these are all significant things when you're trying to figure out how to get the best investment out of your first round pick. This was a draft where I really felt like there wasn't a standout player. Like last year, Paul Skeens absolutely was going to be the number one overall pick, but as far as like the rest of the guys, you're looking at college players. A ton of college players are going to be drafted early in this draft. You're seeing that already. And that's because the college ranks have kind of started taking over for some of the, players that sign out of high school. It's just a better fit for players that want to go win somewhere. They turn the minor leagues into a development league, and it almost feels like rec ball. And I've said that before, and it's hard to really get a feel for the game when the games are played not to win, so these guys go to college and they get a great experience, and then they go out there and try to win every day. And now they're being drafted. And you look at where the big leagues in college baseball are. The ACC and the SEC dominated. When you looked at the World Series field, it was like split down the middle with 4 teams from each, right? So the ACC can hang. And, as I said, too, maybe one of the best players in the ACC, Cam Smith. So good pick by the Cubs. I think this is an exciting player. I think this is a guy who is going to bring some power to the table. It's going to be adjusting probably. I'm sure they're probably going to say, well, we got to shorten the swing up a little bit. You watch him play defensively. He's got a good arm. We'll see how that plays at the pro level. You play the wood bat game every day, but he did it in the Cape, and he's coming in with a lot of talent. And, the surprising thing to me was, I figured looking at the Cubs organization that they would have drafted a catcher, and I'm sure that'll come in this draft because they've got to add catching depth to the organization. But if they feel like this is the best player that was available for that 14th pick, and it's a guy that if he can come in like Matt Shaw did a year ago and, and play well, really prove himself, it's going to be another great pick for the Cubs. So we'll keep an eye on that. Back from Vegas, guys. Missed you. We'll be talking a lot this week about the draft, the All-Star game, and everything else right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. And don't forget to check us out on X, on Instagram, and on TikTok, the Cubs Baseball channel. Hey, we're here, man. All right. Hey, thanks, guys. And again, Cubs take Cam Smith, third baseman, 14th pick, first round out of Florida State. Oh, yeah. Did I tell you guys this? Go Cubs.